Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff gets hooked on Justin Bieber's new album Swag as American relaxes after heartbreaking Wimbledon exit. It's a warm July evening in London. The air is still tinged with the soft scent of strawberries and the echo of cheers from center court. The grass is worn, the nets coiled, and the crowds dispersed. Wimbledon has come and gone for Coco Gauff, this time not in triumph, but in heartbreak. Just hours earlier, the young American tennis sensation had bowed out of the tournament in a grueling quarterfinal match that left both fans and commentators stunned. She had fought, hustled, and bled spirit into every shot. But sport, like life, doesn't always crown effort. Now, with her racket stowed away and the press obligations completed, Coco retreats to her hotel suite near Hyde Park. She isn't crying, not yet at least. The tears have their own rhythm, arriving when the adrenaline fades and the silence grows heavy. She plops onto the plush couch, scrolling absent-mindedly through Spotify when something catches her eye. New Justin Bieber album, Swag. Out now. She raises an eyebrow. Swag. Coco chuckles softly to herself. The name sounds like a throwback, almost too bold for 2025. But then again, this is Bieber, the global pop icon who went from teen sensation to a soulful crooner, and now, apparently, back to his swaggering roots. She taps play. The opening track, Swaggy Nights, begins with a pulsating beat, a mix of moody synths and silky vocals. There's something hypnotic about it. It doesn't shout for attention. It invites you in, smooth and confident. Gauff, still in her Nike hoodie and tennis shorts, closes her eyes and lets the music wash over her. The soundtrack of a comeback. For Coco Gauff, music has always been more than background noise. It's a lifeline. I grew up in a house where music was always playing, she once said in an interview. Old school hip-hop, gospel, R&B, even country sometimes. Music got me through training sessions, long flights, and tough losses. Tonight, though, this is different. The next track, Echoes in the Mirror, is raw, perhaps the most vulnerable Bieber has ever sounded. I see the kid I used to be / right before the world changed me, he sings. It strikes a chord. Coco remembers being 15 and stepping onto the grass courts of Wimbledon for the first time, dazzling the world by defeating Venus Williams. It felt like a dream then, but dreams come with shadows. With every win, expectations grew. Headlines followed her everywhere. The future of tennis. America's next Serena. No one tells you how heavy a crown can feel when it's handed to you before you're even old enough to drive. She rewinds the track and listens again. An album with depth and swagger. By the time she reaches track 5, Baseline Love, a clever metaphor-filled anthem blending tennis and heartbreak, Coco is smirking. Did Bieber just say, "You served me aces, but never love, baby"? It's cheesy, but it's catchy, and oddly relatable. It's not just the lyrics. The whole album feels tailored to people trying to find their footing after a fall. Bieber sings of rediscovering self-worth, of escaping the noise, of confronting fears head-on. No auto-tune apologies is stripped down and haunting. An open letter to critics, to lost friends, maybe even to himself. By now, Coco is lying back on the couch, phone forgotten on the coffee table, head bobbing slightly to the rhythm of skyline conversations. The chorus soars. The production feels almost cinematic. Where was this Bieber during my middle school years? She mutters, half laughing. She imagines younger Coco, braids flying, practicing serves in the Florida heat, belting out early Justin Bieber hits like Baby and Boyfriend into a hairbrush. Back then, his music was all she needed to feel joy. Now, it's helping her feel everything. Text from mom. A notification buzzes. A message from her mom. Proud of you no matter what. Red heart, don't forget to rest. And eat. Coco smiles. Her mom always knew when to check in. She types a quick reply. Thanks, Mom. Listening to Bieber's new album. It's helping. A few seconds later. Is he still making music? Faced with tears of joy. Apparently. And it's really good. Healing through harmony. In interviews, Bieber has said Swag, was his way of reconnecting with his inner 20-year-old. Carefree, bold, slightly foolish, but also with a depth that only years of fame, failure, and faith could bring. It's not lost on Coco how much that mirrors her own path. She's only 21 now, but already she has experienced peaks and valleys that most athletes don't touch until their 30s. She's been called a prodigy, a disappointment, a champion, a work in progress, sometimes all in the same tournament. But tonight, none of that matters. She's not Coco Gauff, the tennis player. She's just a young woman listening to music that makes her feel seen. As Glow Mode, the final track, fades out with ambient strings and Bieber whispering, "Shine," even when they can't see it. Coco exhales. She feels lighter. Not healed. Not yet. But starting. Wimbledon had never felt so electric. The center court roared like an ocean, waves of applause crashing against the green turf as Aryna Sabalenka fell to her knees, victorious. Amanda Anisimova, standing on the other side of the net, watched in silence, chest heaving, legs trembling, not just from exertion, but from the mix of pride and pain that comes from losing a match where she'd left everything on the court. 6-4, 3-6, 7-5. The scoreline carved into her memory, like initials on a tree. So close. A match for the ages. A semifinal that might be talked about for years. But in the tunnel afterward, past the flash of cameras and the whirlwind of reporters, Amanda walked quietly with her phone in her hand. She wasn't one to post instantly after a loss, but today felt different. Aryna had played like a warrior. She'd come back from the brink. But Amanda knew she had too. They had danced a razor's edge all afternoon, like two gladiators in a coliseum with no victor, only survivors. Back in the locker room, Amanda opened Instagram. No filters, no perfectly angled selfies, just a blank message box and her thoughts. She took a breath and typed, "Amanda Anisimova, Aryna Sabalenka." At Amanda Anisimova. "Hey Aryna Greenheart. Just wanted to say this while the grass is still fresh under our shoes and the adrenaline hasn't faded. That match today, wow. It's one I'll never forget. You pushed me to my limit, physically, emotionally, everything. I've played big matches before, but this one, it felt different. It felt bigger. You were a storm out there. Fierce, focused, and somehow still smiling through the madness. That third set, that breakpoint at 4-4. I don't even know how you reached that forehand, but damn, it was a thing of beauty. I know we're rivals, on paper, but today, it felt like we were writing a story together, one of grit and grace. And while I wish the ending had been different for me, I'm honestly so proud we created that moment. Together. Enjoy the final. You deserve it. With respect and a full heart. Amanda Dizzy." She stared at the message. Her thumb hovered over send. It was vulnerable. Too open. Maybe. But tennis wasn't just about ranking points and trophies. It was about humanity. And today, Amanda had felt something with Aryna on that court. Something raw, honest, almost sacred. She hit send. A minute passed. Then another. Then 3. Her screen lit up. Aryna Sabalenka, Amanda Anisimova. At Sabalenka Aryna. Amanda. This message means the world to me. Really. I just read it 3 times and had to sit down. You say I played like a storm, but you were ice and fire. That backhand passing shot in the second set, still seeing it in my dreams, and probably in my nightmares before the final grinning face with sweat. I've played a lot of big names, but I've never felt the kind of tension I felt playing you. It wasn't just a match, it was a war, a ballet, a conversation without words. And even when you were down, you never looked defeated. That takes something rare. People talk a lot about what separates the great from the good. They say it's power or stats or some unmeasurable killer instinct. But I think it's what you just showed in your message. Humility, grace, strength after heartbreak. I feel lucky to have shared that court with you. Win or lose, it made me better. Promise me this isn't the last time we'll meet in a semifinal. Or final. Or anywhere. See you at the top, warrior. Aryna. Amanda smiled. Her heart ached, but in the best way. It wasn't about lifting the trophy. Not always. Sometimes it was about building something invisible between players. Respect that could only be earned in the fire of competition. That night, as Aryna's name trended on Twitter and Amanda's fighting spirit was praised in comment sections around the globe, the two athletes stayed connected in a quiet Instagram DM thread. No agents, no cameras, no scripts. Just two women, warriors at heart, lifting each other higher. Later that evening, at Amanda Anisimova Instagram story, a photo of her grass-stained shoes. Caption: losses hurt, but growth is louder. Wimbledon 2025. Thank you for the magic. And to Aryna, go win that thing, green heart. At Sabalenka Aryna Instagram story, reposts Amanda's story, adds her own caption: respect to the fiercest fighter I faced in years. Amanda, your time is coming. Soon. Finals tomorrow. Let's finish what we started. Collision tennis, greenheart. ESPN commentator, next day. You can feel it in the air. Yesterday's semifinal between Anisimova and Sabalenka wasn't just tennis, it was theater. And the respect between these two, you don't teach that. That's character. That's legacy in the making.